Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. It is the first day of 2020. We went to bed pretty late yesterday after 5 a.m., but I still woke up without an alarm at around 10. I don't really feel that tired today, and I just got my finances spreadsheet done for 2020, just setting it up for the year, reconciling all my accounts from 2019. My investments ended up doing very well, so I'm happy about that. And I was also pretty accurate in terms of my tracking. I was only out a little bit in cash. I always am out a little bit, so I do a physical count of my cash at the end of the year or at the beginning of the new year, and I reconcile it with what my spreadsheet says my cash number should be, and I'm usually out by a little bit because I sometimes forget to track all of my cash expenses, but this year I was pretty close, so that was a good thing as well. And one more update about my budget. I was bang on at 82% even at the end of the year. I am gonna do a video on Petite Hairstyle about budgeting because a few of you have asked. I thought I had one before, but I looked back and it looks like I just have my how to save money video and I didn't do an actual budgeting video, which I had planned, and maybe I recorded some clips for it, which is why I think I did it, but I never ended up finishing it or posting it. So I'm gonna work on that at some point this month, hopefully. But I wanted to check in because Hubby is doing baby foot. When we were in Japan, he purchased a package of baby foot. I decided not to because I didn't know whether or not I would actually use it. I still have some hand and foot treatments from before that I haven't used up, so I held back and I didn't purchase it, but Hubby did purchase one because he loved it so much and he's using it right now. We are having Atomy instant noodles for dinner tonight. I added a bit more stuff to it this time around. I added 3 handfuls of spinach for the 2 of us. There's the egg in there somewhere. I've got kimchi on top, some seaweed, and some pork floss. I love pork floss. I haven't had it in ages, but I've been craving it recently, and I saw it at Bake Code when I went to pick up that salted duck yolk croissant. They had a pork floss bun, and I was really tempted to get it, so it got in my head to buy some pork floss the next time I was in Chinatown, so I did. Also garnished with a bit of sesame seeds, black and white, as well as that Japanese spice seasoning that you see right there, and a little bit of sesame oil. In case you've never had it, pork floss is this stuff here. It's basically shredded pork that comes in a package. It's like a Chinese processed snack food. A lot of people eat it with steamed rice. Hubby decided he wanted to put it in the ramen today, and it's just really delicious on its own too. I grew up on this stuff, so I just love it. It is January the 3rd today. This is what we're having for dinner. I actually made this yesterday as well, but the mashed potatoes didn't turn out well. I just overmashed them and they were really gummy. It was gross, but today they turned out really well. I made ribs in the Instant Pot, and I just have some hot sauce on the side. The mashed potatoes are here. They have some onions, celery salt, ground mustard, and garlic. I also added butter and Parmesan cheese, so it's really, really, really tasty. This empty spot in the TV dinner tray is for the bones. Hey everyone, it is Saturday. We are heading to Staples. We have a couple of gift cards we want to use. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy those notepads for my morning pages because I don't really want to keep using the notebooks. I only have one more ruled notebook and I kind of want to save that for like actual things that I want to write in there that I might want to hang on to and refer back to. Seems like a waste to use it just for morning pages. I am flying through my current one like crazy, so I think I'll just go ahead and buy the notepad so I can shred the pages when I'm done. Here are all the notepads that they have. I think I'm just gonna get these ones. They're the cheapest. You get 5 for about $12.50 and call it a day. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably have notepads at home somewhere. I think I may even have like 2 or 3 of them, but I'll still pick these up since we're here and I have the gift card. Ooh, I just remembered I need a staple remover too because I've been using my nails for the past year or so and I want to stop doing that. So I can get one for $3.49 or 3 for $5.29. I really only need one. Goes right by your ear. They don't fit my face. Look. Because this part These are Bose sunglass earphones.
Frames Rondo, frames also.
I like the shape better, but it doesn't fit my face because this ear thing, I can't put it higher, so it falls. It sounds very clear, and then you can't hear it like outside because the speaker's right here and it goes like right into your ear.
Here?
They're $250. Yeah, they're nice, but they don't fit my face. They sound really good. But you don't have to put anything in your ear. And try on the other ones.
This is going to be beach.
Okay.
I guess you can still hear your surroundings too.
These fit better, but the shape I don't think looks great. We just got back from Staples and David's Tea. I ended up using all of the coupons that I had for David's Tea. Got 2 of the hot teas. This is the Serenity Now, so it's a blend of lavender, spearmint, and there must be some sort of fruit in there because I do taste the tartness. We got these 4 teas, the Tulsi Tranquility, which we both loved from the advent calendar. This is a limited edition that I saw in the store and I was curious to give it a whiff. I read the ingredients and it sounds like something I would like, so I decided to go ahead and buy that as well. Hubby chose the Jasmine Black Pearls and he also chose the Phoenix Oolong, and I had a free 50 grams of tea in my account just from points and such. So we got this one for free, which is great because it is pricey. I think 50 grams of this worked out to like almost $25. And I just noticed that we got a really nice variety. We have oolong, black tea, green tea, and an herbal infusion. I also used the coupon to get this, which is a matcha whisk holder. I have a matcha whisk, but I haven't used it yet because I really don't know how to store it. Now that I have this, maybe I will bust that out and finally give it a try. I've had the matcha whisk for probably over a year now. Me and I are also going to head to the LCBO. We have this thing, we have several of these actually, and we don't want to keep using the ones that they have in the store, so we're gonna bring this with us and just fill it with some beer. We are done with our alcohol no buy, although I'm still going to keep that in place for stuff that I like, so that's namely red wine and port for the most part. In the meantime though, when I want a glass of wine or whatnot, I'm gonna try to drink what we already have on hand. Red wine's my favorite, so we still have some rosé and some white wine. We have lots of spirits and I want to drink all of that before I start buying alcohol again, but we are going to make an exception with beer because hubby likes it and I like it too. It's also a little bit cheaper and we go through it a bit faster, so I don't feel like we'll be like stocking up on it, so we're gonna go grab that. I used it today. It worked very, very well and the matcha from it tastes great. I started reading A Geek in Japan yesterday. It's really, really interesting. There's actually a lot more content than I thought there would be in terms of written words, so it's taking me longer to read it, but I'm really enjoying it and I'm learning a lot about Japan. I think I knew this before, but in the book I read that Japanese like to eat sweets with their matcha because the matcha by itself is quite bitter. So this morning, hubby and I are having our little bowls of matcha with some of the Pocky. We're on our last packs of Pocky already. We haven't been eating them every day, but each box only contains 4 packs and we have 1 pack each. So a box lasts us about 2 days and we bought 4 boxes on Boxing Day. It is now January the 5th, so we don't have that many left. Hubby's crying. Hey everyone, it is Sunday today and we are heading to a bubble tea shop called Labothery?
Labothery, isn't it?
What is it?
Labothery.
Well, the middle of the word is thé, which is tea in French. The proprietor is from Montreal. My sisters went there on New Year's Eve and they said it was really good. It was a bit pricey, but they said it's worth a try. It's basically a shop where you can mix your own bubble tea and it's very like scientific looking. So it's all in like vials and test tubes and such. There's also one in the path, but we needed to come out for a walk today, so we're gonna head there now. We are back and watching the Canadian juniors, the gold medal game versus Russia. I had a sip of this and I think it's all right. I ended up choosing the sesame coconut hot milk tea with evaporated milk and the yogurt popping boba, or the yogurt pearls. I used brown sugar and I didn't use very much of it. I think I used the 10 milliliter option. It's not bad. I like the sesame flavor and I like the milkiness from the evaporated milk. The popping boba is nice too, but I usually don't really get any toppings, and I think I would prefer the tea on its own without the popping boba. Yesterday we went to Cha Time and I had the winter melon sea salt crema and I really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of craving that flavor. There were a lot of combinations that you could do, but I don't know if there were any that I would go specifically there for. Today's the day I'm going to be taking down the Christmas decorations. I think I'm going to leave the fairy lights though. They're so pretty and it seems like a shame to use them only once a year when they're just so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is just remove the cards and the tree and the other bits we have kicking around. Here's how everything looks without the holiday cards and the tree. I put this postcard up, which is something that we got in Japan, and I think I'm going to switch that up every now and then so I can display some of our other postcards. This is also one of my favorite postcards, which I think I may change up. I thought I would check in and finish off this vlog before my day gets completely derailed. It seems like this is happening more and more often. I just get caught up in what I'm doing and then the day goes by and I realize I haven't vlogged. I do have a few things I want to wrap up in this vlog before I get it posted. The first thing is Labothery, the bubble tea place that hubby and I went to. I ended up thinking the tea was just okay, but I forgot to mention that hubby actually loved his. He's a huge fan of durian and they do have a durian flavor that he chose. He chose that along with taro. But next time we go there, he's going to get a double dose of durian. He's going to take 2 of those little test tube things with the durian powder in it. I'm probably not going to get anything next time, but he really enjoyed it. I am drinking Phoenix Oolong today. This is the one from David's Tea, and it is delicious. On the packaging, I read that there's a bit of a lychee note, and there definitely is. It's very mild in flavor because I only steeped it for 3 minutes, but it's so good. Very different from the milk oolong. It definitely does have a lychee flavor. It's really nice. I think hubby will like it as well, but the milk oolong still is his favorite. I was actually thinking maybe next year I should go to David's Tea and just pick out 24 teas. Just buy like 5 grams of each and make my own, but I don't know if they'd be too happy with me. You guys will recall at the beginning of this vlog, I talked about hubby buying 1 package of baby foot because he really enjoyed it. I don't know if this is going to be gross to you guys or not, maybe to some of you. I remember there being so much gel in there the first time that we did baby foot that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put the booties on too, and I'm gonna soak my feet in the same booties that hubby wore for 2 hours. So I did. They say you're not supposed to reuse the baby foot, but we were doing it one after the other. For me, it doesn't seem to be working as well as the first time. Maybe because hubby's feet had soaked up a lot of the gel. So the tops of my feet aren't really peeling that much, but all around my toes and the bottoms of my feet, that is all peeling. So that seems to be happening in the same way and within the same time span as the first time we did baby foot a few years ago. And I did rewatch that video, that review that I did on it. I would say the product still works in very similar ways. Hubby's feet aren't really peeling in big chunks like mine are. His is more like flaking off, but he's getting like a few big chunks. It's so hard not to pick at it because it's like so much fun to pick at skin. The last thing I want to talk about before I get into my 2020 theme, I did a video on how I use Dr. Bronner soap, and in that video I showed me washing makeup brushes. That is still my favorite way to wash makeup brushes, but today I discovered that if I wear those Atomy gloves while washing makeup brushes, it's so much better because I don't have to get my hands wet. I don't like to have my hands wet, you guys know that from my nails video. So I try to keep my hands dry most of the time, But when I use the gloves to wash the makeup brushes, because the Atomy gloves have like little ridges in them, those little crevices in the glove really help to clean the makeup brushes. It went really smoothly today. I mean, it always goes pretty smoothly, but this time I could use water that was a little bit hotter, still not like too hot, but a little bit hotter than I'm used to. I didn't have to really rush through it because I don't like to have my hands wet. So I'm really happy with those gloves, and those grooves in it are just magical to get your makeup brushes clean. And I'm on the same pair of gloves for around 3 months now. I mean, I was away for part of the time, but otherwise I use them every single day and I haven't poked a hole in them yet. Knock on wood that I won't poke a hole in them now that I've said that in this video. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is that 2020 theme. So you guys know my theme this year is believe in yourself, and of course by you I mean me, but anyone can take this theme and make it their own. So it has updated. For a while it was still showing you have everything you need, but now if you can see that, my phone's name is Believe in Yourself, which is my theme for the year. I found that the theme last year worked really well because it's almost like an affirmation. Every time you see that phrase, you're reminded by the affirmation, and I find that a little more powerful than the way I've been setting goals in the past. So even though in years prior to last year, I had overarching themes for the year, they would just be basically a word or two. I found that it didn't really resonate as well with me as having something like a phrase that could be an affirmation. This year, I really wanted to focus on two things, and that was moderation and focus. So those are two concepts that I couldn't really seem to link together for whatever reason. Moderation by itself has like two sides of the coin already. Of course, I wanted to moderate how much I eat and how much I drink because I find that I can be excessive at times. I've talked in the past about not being able to have one chocolate. I'd have like 5, or if I have 1 or 2 glasses of wine, it turns into like 3 or 4. At dinner time, often I'd get 1 helping that would turn into 3 helpings, and I just find it really difficult to moderate consumption. So that's one aspect of moderation. The other aspect of moderation that I really wanted to focus in on is moderation of kind of like, my philosophy on life, I guess. One of you pointed out in one of my videos, and that was that I used to have goals surrounding like indulgence. I would purchase all of these designer goods, and then in 2019 and also in 2018, I went kind of like the opposite extreme and I did a no buy. So I'm kind of always oscillating at two extremes. So that's kind of like the meat in the middle that I wanted in terms of moderation. The other aspect that I wanted to work on in 2020 was focus, because I'm pretty much all over the place. You guys know I have a lot of different interests. I just am very scattered. I like the scattered approach to a certain extent, but I find it often derails me. So I'd like to get a better sense of my strengths, where I want to go in the future. Those were the two concepts that I was playing around with in my mind. And when I sat down to do that first day of morning pages, it came to me that the connection between these two things is essentially finding balance. So I journaled on the whole Goldilocks thing of like, this bowl's too big, this bowl's too small, this bowl's just right. I thought my theme for the year would be finding my just right. I really love that, and I sat with that for, I would say, almost right up until the new year when I was ready to record the video. And then I started thinking that finding my just right sounded too much like finding Mr. Right, and I didn't like that. I started thinking, how can I tweak the phrase so that it still resonates with me? It still has these components in it of moderation and focus, but not have it sound like finding Mr. Right. I also didn't like the word finding or searching for or seeking, because it kind of implies that you're craving something, that you need something to be whole. Finding implies that you don't have it and that you are looking for it. I really wanted something that was more rooted in the present. Now, there are two other themes that I wanted to focus in on in 2020, but I had cast them aside because I don't even like to have 2 words as my theme, let alone 4 different concepts. But when I started journaling on that, that's when I hit upon believe in yourself, because the other two concepts that I wanted to focus in on were following my intuition. So I still want to trust my gut. I still want to let my intuition and my instinct guide me towards that focus. So I really wanted it to be about looking in to see where I want to go going forward. And then the other aspect that I really wanted to work on in 2020 was investing in myself. In the past, I've always hedged my bets. So if I start a website, it's always a free blog. I don't pay fees and such. Except my photography business. I did invest in a website for my photography business, like web hosting. I do feel like I need a more professional looking website that speaks to all of the different aspects of myself. But I don't know what that looks like yet because I'm still a little bit unfocused. So in 2020, I'd like to work on all of those things, and that's what believe in yourself encompasses. That's kind of the unpacking that I wanted to do in my 2020 goals video. I think you can see when I start to ramble on about it why I decided to save it for a vlog. That is going to be it for this vlog. I already have around 10 minutes of edited footage, and I've just been talking to you guys for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get back to what I was doing. I'm doing some stuff for the studio today. I also want to go to St. Lawrence Market to pick up some stuff. Hubby and I are gonna have charcuterie tonight. I made pasta yesterday and it was so delicious. I made that pasta sauce that I showed in my Instagram, but instead of putting sugar, I used balsamic glaze and it turned out delicious. So I think I'm going to use that substitution from now on because we always have balsamic glaze for that goat cheese appetizer. I also use just regular tomatoes. So I use the No Name brand tomatoes, product of Canada, and also small can of heirloom tomatoes, also grown in Canada. Can't remember the brand name offhand. It might have been like Hunt's or something like that. But the combination of the big can of tomatoes and the little can of tomatoes was perfect. I made a ton of sauce though. And this time I put ground turkey in it too. So this one isn't a vegetarian sauce, but it is so delicious. We actually really do want to eat that again tonight. But I think we're gonna take a break, finish our charcuterie, finish our goat cheese, finish our cherry tomatoes, and then tomorrow we'll go back to eating the pasta, which was so yummy. Okay, that is going to be it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to my first vlog of 2020. I'm going to see you guys a lot this year on this channel, as well as on Petite Hairstyle. I've got a lot of ideas for Petite Hairstyle. I'm going to try to keep up with videos for both channels. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. Hope you're having a great start to the new year.